It lost connection when you were saying that place is no longer favorable.
That's okay. It's good. But it hasn't started again.
Yeah, it has.
It has? Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe. It's not showing up. Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
It's live.
Oh, live now. Okay. Haribo?
Sorry, Radhe Radhe. India internet.
So please forgive us. I know it's the end, isn't it? So
Yeah.
7:30. So I don't know how much you missed of Sudevi. Maybe just a very little bit. So I was just mentioning that Rupa Goswami says in Upadeshamrita, Drishtai Svabhava Janitar Vapushashcha Dosha, that in the body of a pure devotee, or even in their activity, you might see some slight apparent discrepancy. But you should overlook that like you would overlook mud or bubbles or even dead bodies floating in the Ganga, because the Ganga is always pure, always transcendental. So there might be some apparent defects, imperfection, like someone's missing a tooth, or maybe they are crippled, or maybe their complexion might be darkish, or maybe very light, or maybe they have some disease, like Sanatan Goswami had. What did he have all over his body? Sores, oozing sores all over his body. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what did he do when he saw him? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't even notice all of that. Immediately he embraced Sanatan Goswami. So he wasn't looking at these external things. But from a perspective of a sannyasi, when Chota Haridas did something wrong, Mahaprabhu rejected him forever. Because the activity was the result of someone in such a position who is doing nonsense activities which are opposed to bhakti, yad acharati shreshtas. It creates havoc in society when those who are in charge, in the upper positions, are doing nonsense activities. So our Param Gurudev had a very strong perspective on this. He said, if someone is just a simple devotee, simple means just one of the rank and file devotees, and they make some mistake, then very easily we can let it go. They can be, forgiven and they can continue. But if someone in a position of authority, especially a very high position, does consistent nonsense activities, he said because they are public personalities in a public position, then they should be publicly reprimanded. I can find you the exact quote. It's quite heavy. Who has the responsibility of doing that? Technically, Sri Guru, other pure devotees. But it does not mean that the rank and file should be foolish. It does not mean that we should not recognize what is unfavorable for our bhakti. Even if someone should still be considered a sadhu, because maybe they had a little slip up here or there, but still they're focused. It doesn't mean we should associate closely. Does that make sense? It doesn't mean we should associate closely. If we associate closely, then we can also succumb to the negatives. Srila Gurudev explained, if someone's guru has fallen down and has committed so many sinful activities, according to Shastra, it says, Dhyayam stubang stasya yasas trisanyam. This is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in the very first verse of Guru Vashtakam, Sangsara Dava, and it says, Dhyayam stubang stasya yasas trisanyam. 3 times a day I'm meditating on that person. This is what we do when we chant our mantras, our Guru Mantra, Guru Gayatri. We're remembering our Gurudev. Gurudev said, what will happen is you're remembering your Gurudev. You'll remember not only all the good stuff, but all the nonsense qualities as well. And what will happen is you're remembering that. It will also impress our hearts in a negative way, in which case it is unfavorable for us. So in that case, distance is the best policy. If I continue to, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada also said, one's allegiance to Guru or to their authority figure is only dependent upon whether that person remains altogether good or not. So we can also find these quotes and share them. It depends on whether one remains altogether good. He said our allegiance is not blind. It's not like we just, this is our bhakti, this is our spiritual life. It's not a joke. That's why all Shastra recommends that we surrender to a pure devotee. And what's the definition of a pure devotee? What's pure? Pure means without all of the nonsense. Pure means unalloyed, unmixed, 100%. As Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, not dedicated 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds of the day, and 1 moment to Maya. No, dedicated to Krishna for that much, but 1 moment to Maya, he said, I could never accept that person as my guru or my savior. I could never. 100%. 100%. Otherwise, if we see that they're also like myself, bound in this material world, Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada said, it will be impossible for you to surrender to them. Because you see that they're also in the well, like you. In that case, if you cannot surrender to them, and surrender is the essential ingredient, the first ingredient, ado guru parashray, of bhakti, then you won't be able to make any progress in bhakti. So that association no longer becomes favorable. As Sudevi was quoting Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, he gave a further example. He said, like Mahaprasad. One day, it's so beautiful, rice dal, halava, puris, pakoras, ladus, rasgullas, sandesh, sweet rice. You take that Mahaprasadam internally and it nourishes and benefits you so much. But then it digests. Then you have to eliminate it. You don't hold on to the elimination. You embrace another plate of Mahaprasad. So, progress means selection and elimination. And there is no end to progress. So, of course, this subject can be delved into much, much more deeply. We can go into the conversations that Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has on Apichet Suduracharo. But it doesn't mean that we should associate closely, even though one might still be considered a sadhu. We have to use some common sense, some intelligence. It doesn't mean that we need to blab about it, talk about it to the world. That's also not harikatha.
Or meditate on it.
We don't need to meditate on the faults of others, but we should not be fools. We should not be foolish. We should know what is favorable for my bhakti, accept. Anukulyasa sankalpa means to make a firm resolution, a vow to only accept in my life what is favorable for the development of my bhakti. And that also includes what kind of association. Shabde parejanishnatam brahmanyupasamashrayam, for whom the material world holds no charm whatsoever. And to avoid, to make a firm resolution to avoid what is unfavorable for the development of my bhakti. For someone who takes to this path of Sharanagati, Tahara Prarthana Shuni, Sri Nanda Kumar, Krishna himself, the son of Nanda Maharaj, in Vrindavan will hear your prayers and he will send you the necessary help accordingly. Srila Rupa Goswamipada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai, Vidya Avirbhav Maha Mahotsava ki jai. So tomorrow we will continue with Going Beyond Vaikuntha, the book.
With better internet connection.
Yes. Sorry about the internet cutting out. Please forgive us. Krishna Last half of the day. Guru Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Narayan Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari. So thank you all for being with us and for tolerating our internet difficulties. The demigods of internet are still not working so favorably with us, but still thank you so much, and we look forward to being with all of you tomorrow. Dandavat pranam, Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe.